Good afternoon. This is the time you guys have been waiting for eagerly, and the teams have been waiting for. The curtains have unveiled itself, and here are our two finalists, TMU and UTSC. This is the final showdown, the judgment day for the TD 2025 Men's National Championship. It is the TMU who's won the toss and batting first. We've seen in semi-final against Brock Badgers managing to score over 150 runs, winning that game by 48 runs. They did find themselves in sticky positions at times, TMU, and the survival at times dependent on the net run rate in the 2025 TD Men's National Championship, which has been a roller coaster for them. And how about this team, UTSC, against all odds? They have been one of the names that we have been hearing upon from GTA Cup 2025, beating Brock Badgers in the final, lifting that GTA Cup trophy. Here they are playing quality tournament, quality games, ready for the first ball of the finals. Aatkuye Sekar. Right there. Gets nice seam, nice movement of the surface. Straight away. Against Ontario Tech, chasing 171 runs. Played nicely. That'll be the first run. 2 runs coming off the second ball. Ten teams, two finalists here. Arth dismissed early on in the semi-finals, whereas Isaiah Fernandez was sticky with the shots, not in full-fledged flow. Despite being top on the table, Ontario Tech pushed out of the final race by UTSC. Shot. That's glorious. Absolutely glorious. I have not seen a better shot in the tournament like such. Has to be the shot of the tournament for me. Right there. Very elegant from the southpaw. Play it on the loop. And you can enjoy this over and over. My goodness. What timing. What shot. Just too good. Too good. Flawless from the batter. Does look like a penalty there. The reason why they'll be getting the penalty of 5 runs is this: the ball touching the wicketkeeper's helmet. There you go. That adds on. What an excellent over this is. For anyone of you who've joined us, to give you an overview why the batting team is rewarded with 5 runs is because the helmet obstructing the field, obstructing the pathway of the ball where it was traveling. Anything that obstructs from the fielding side, you get rewarded. Whereas when the throw at the stumps, the fielding team, when they throw it at the stumps and batter obstructing is given out. What an over this has been. We'll keep you updated shortly on the scoreboard. But an excellent first over, 14 runs coming off it. He's playing a good hand, exuding confidence. Sekar, very dominant top of the order. Semi-finals game against the Brock Badgers wasn't the style that he would have played. So far in the leaderboard, Yusuf Baporia with 5 wickets, Fayaz Ahmad Momand with 96 runs, Aaron Mali, UTSC scored 93 runs. Some sweet chin music there. What a ball. Most fours scored by Fayaz Ahmed from Ontario Tech. What a ball. Teasing the batter, forcing him to play that drive. Keeping it tight between the stumps. And how about that ball from Prabhav? Very bold as a team when you see bowlers using that length, that bounce of the wicket. We haven't seen any new ball bowlers using shot of the length, giving trouble to the batter, and that delivery might have put an iota of a doubt in the head of batter's mind. 2 overs done, 19 runs. Isaiah Fernandez displaying in support with Arth, who scored 12 runs of 11. And how about that glorious shot? That has to be the shot of the tournament for me, because that shot like that or extra covers to get that elevation and distance from Arth does display a bit of potential. Not complete, but at least a little about what he possesses. Called as a dead ball. I beg your pardon, I reckon that was called as not out though. Let's take a look here. Saad's hurt himself. How costly can this be? We'll take a brief pause before we get back into the game. back in the game. Was hit firmly. Has he feathered that one? Solid play here. Good overs for batting, good overs for bowling. Overall, a good display of cricket. Sweeper does the job. They get 2 runs. Played, picked up well into the gap. Transfer of his weight on the back foot. Gets a good result. Much better looking stroke making from Isaiah Fernandez. Better shape there from him. Big appeal there. What a ball that is. Very well bowled. Just that bit of extra bounce, taking his face off, dropping his bat down. Has to be a nick. Has to be a nick. And there's the man. After teasing, after throwing a surprise off the wicket with the bounce, they get dangerous looking. Arth goes back. In comes his brother, Arav. Superb bowling from Prabhav. And this game looks balanced, very balanced between both the teams. Runs are coming in, they're getting timely wicket. It's gonna get tough. Again, a tease off the outside edge. That's how Prabhav got his first wicket. I'm sure Arav was watching what happened, how the wicket fell before he trying to meddle with the ball outside off stump. Has to be a little bit watchful. Bowling exactly to his field. Ends the fourth over, 26 for 1. A wicket made in for Prabhav in a T20 game. Comes in Aaron. Bowls much more quicker. Excellent fielding by the skipper. Fayad inside the circle. Was hit firmly. Solid work. And that's where fielding does the morale up, gets at least 30-40% of the job done. Uncomfortable there. You can say this team here is going immediately for the aggressive kill. The previous shot where he cut it. Let's take a look how it was fielded by Fayad. Right on it. Not letting it go. Solid work. Good commitment. I say you that there are different bowlers who've tried bowling bouncers, but I think UTSC has been one of those teams where they've executed that brilliantly. 3 times, 2 of the balls taken to a surprise. Once with Isaiah, once with Arth, and now the one that is bowled to Isaiah by Aaron. That's gone flying, and that'll take outside edge. Thick outside edge. Not sure if he intended to play there, but will get 4 runs for that. In the power play, any runs coming, TMU will accept happily. You gotta set up a total at least above 150. Driven down to third man. And it says about your flow as bowlers as well. If you are feeling the game, if you are able to feel, if you're able to absorb the environment, with the bowlers bowling bouncers, with they're trying something differently. They're, they are in a very good headspace at the moment. UTSC beaten. Shot again. Magnificent. Just a little short of the fielder. Tried his best. Jumped on. But I tell you this, without even, I think the shot played by Arth, that 6 over extra covers, has to be the shot of the tournament for me. Very steady. Isaiah batting on 8. Takes on. Where is this coming? Right here at the com box. No power at that stroke. Was there in air for a bit of, for quite long. Nicely tucked around the corner. This is going to be a tug of war. Played. Played that well. That's a superb. Superb shot. I gotta tell you this, when you look at that in the replay, it's pure timing. Look at him using the pace of the ball and his body weight just turning around, taking that full flow. He didn't fully flex his muzzle. When you see that it wasn't a swat of his bat, was more likely the transfer. Look at him. That complete turn of his body, transfer of motion, that he puts that in the shot. A good comeback from Prabhav. An expensive over. 13 runs coming off. 45 runs scored with a wicket lost in the power play. Six overs, 45. They're looking solid here. TMU. They need to carry that same temperament. And in search of wicket, UTSC will have to remain calm under this pressure. They just need one quality ball. What Saad and Prabha was able to do. Just a bit of more concentrated approach from UTSC to bring back TMU in this hunt. And it'll be spin called on. That's Fiad. Good coordination for 2 runs. Talking about partnership breaking, has to be someone here because gotta keep your fielding a bit more close. Runs coming in easily. Batters able to take those ones and twos without any hesitation. Slapped away. Has got enough power on it. Will it be able to? Oh, yes, it does spear like an arrow through the armor of a knight. It does go. What power, what force. Backed off and gets enough power. Even that rolling effort from Prabhav cannot get even his fingertips to it. Every over they're getting a boundary and a great approach from TMU. 7 overs, 52 for 1. And I was just thinking that the rivalry would have been between the Brock University and the UTSC, but flipping the pages, going back to the lore of this tournament, CCUC's national championship in 2018, the TMU and UTSC facing each other in 2018 in the finals, TMU winning the game as a whole new team, but they've got a history. The seniors who could not have done it, this is a chance for UTSC to write their name as winners and redeem themselves here in 2025 take that sweet revenge of 2018 and 2025. Arjun. Fayad and Arjun might be the two spinners who will be operating in this passage of play before the paces are called on again. Getting the turn, keeping it away from the batter's reach. Punted away. Batting on 54. Just 2 runs. Looks like a good over off the lot so far. They've got boundary every over. Not off Arjun's over. Would they be able to get one? Might have been a warning from the bowler, just so that he's not mancated. Looped up. Prabhav's been kept busy. Three overs coming off the eighth over. 55 for one. Chipped up in the gap. Looking to come back for the second one. Should get it without any hesitation. Fiad is using, if this is the line that he's going to use, he can probably take a shot, not a short covers, but the fielder outside from covers for that chip shot. If the batter's trying to play that often, that is regal. That is absolutely regal, as you like. Shot of royalty. There's one from Arth. Then this goes high elbows, very classic. What a shot that is, Arav and Arth. Just clashing those two shots and making it difficult for us to pick what's more brilliant, what's more technical. He's looking in very good touch, Arav. 63 on the loss of one wicket, going at 7.27. That's run away. That's going to slip away from the fielder, and the only way the ball is going to stop is with that heavy outfield there. having some extra grass. .65 for 1 wicket. And playing it easy. Trying to take the game deep, keeping the wickets in hand, getting one odd boundary every over, except for the one bowled by Arjun. 66 after 9 overs, only a wicket lost. Should get a 1. The plan's simple and clear for the TMU. That should be to get as many runs as they can and take the game deep without losing any wickets. And if they continue to do like this till the 15th over, go without losing a wicket, they'll be able to mount a huge total for the finals, and the pressure will be right on the UTSC. And you can see here the energy levels of UTSC slightly, their mental ability being bogged down. .68 for 1. Over 160 might be the prediction if they're having wickets in hand with what has happened in the semi-final one between TMU Brock Badgers. Down the order, Saif Khan coming in, and then Yaqub striking the very first ball to 6. And the cameo played by Saif Khan will be remembered by TMU if they're able to win this. It was him who blew in the belief of victory in the team when they had lost hope of scoring over 130, 140. He managed to put the team above 150, which was not even in the consideration in the long run that we were talking about. TMU winning highest trophies in TD National Championships. They are one of the most decorated teams in the tournament. And defending the 2024 title. UTSC might think they've got a lot to lose, but they are one of the teams who's facing against the 2024 champion, and they've got a big legacy behind them. TMU winning most championships in the CCUC TD National Championship, and that might be the luggage for them. 10 overs done, 71 for 1. We'll join you shortly after drinks break. After 10 overs, we are looking at 73. 10 more overs to go here. 59 more balls. Out of batting on 30 of 26, Isaiah Fernandez steadily building on 22 runs of 22 balls. Short half tracker, change of pace and a wicket. There's that breakthrough. Jai gets the man. It's Arav who goes after making 30 runs. Does look like he's done the job for the team. Just over 100 strike rate. They lost a wicket, and that penalty, the 5-run penalty, has done them a whole lot of good. Getting first over as expensive over somewhere. That shook UTSC up. Got the second wicket. This might be the change in the momentum, is what UTSC might be thinking. Aaron in his second over. His over has been preserved by the captain. Looking for that breakthrough, and he is one of those bowlers played minor league cricket for Morrisville Raptors this season. Was in US for some time. Played a lot of local tournaments as well. Very crafty with his art. Changes, has good pace variations. Twelve was done. 78 for two. Gone. That's gone out. Isaiah Fernandez gets the wicket. Beg your pardon, it was Shazil Salman, the captain of TMU, throws his wicket. Didn't play under the ball. Didn't let the ball come to him. Just got a stump uprooted with a wrong shot that he played. 78 for 3. UTSC creeping back in the game. Yaqub, here comes the new batter. After that very first ball, 6, he got dismissed. They've got enough overs. Jay keeping it tight. He's got 2 wickets. The first over that when they were looking for a partnership break. And now another of Shazil Salman. First ball of this over. Tried playing a sweep. Trying to take a big hack. Sent back. A good call. Isaiah Fernandez on 24 of 26. Might be thinking to go for the glory shot, that aerial route. Can sense that. He facing 27 balls. Flighted again. There's a full toss. We'll be happy with one. 82 for 3. That brushes off his bat, I guess. The umpire not interested in the shout because the ball brushing off the bat. Cries of catches and down. Was a good attempt there. Gets the top edge. Was high in the air. Got there, but could not get his hand. And he's been mancated. The bowler withdraws the appeal. Immediately holding the spirit of the game high. Fourteen overs done. 85 for 3. That is extravagant. Free flow of bat, free flow of arms. Gets him a boundary. We did see that with one stroke, Yaku playing in the semi-finals, what he's capable of. 94 for 3. It does look like they're gonna put their foot on the gas from here. It has to be a message with Abhay Singh coming on the wicket for drinks. 17 overs done. 107 for 5. Isaiah Fernandez on 37 of 39. Aaron will be bowling his third over. Should be coming back for the very last over as well. So UTSC has done well to contain the TMU team, where it did look like they're going to run away towards 160 in the final, which is above par. Safi Khan, who played 30 runs knock in the semi-final, an excellent change of pace. Slight fumble there. Very well bowled. Very accurate. Nothing extra, nothing loose. Shot. Looks like he's collected a boundary that ends with the sixer after a very long time. Safi Khan has got good power in his hands, good connection, connects well. Full toss. I do hear the dugout calling it for a no ball, but I think it is because batter running down from his crease that actually helps the bowler evade no ball. It's gonna be the 18th over that is completed. Yeah, he coming down the wicket. That cancelled out the possibility of that delivery being a no ball. 18 overs done, was hit hard, was going through the hands. Arjun was inside. Who's that shot mid wicket? Fiad in his third over. This is the 19th over. 117 only. If UTSC have managed to restrict TMU within 130, they'll be very happy with that effort. That's gone up. That's gone straight up. Two fielders. And can you believe it? Falling. All sorts of chaos between the wicket. No coordination, no call, nothing. Three good balls bowled by Fayad. Again, that's gone up high in the air. Keeper's late to react. No one's there in the circle. Goes for a big heave. Excellent collect, making it difficult. making it very difficult for the batters to get any boundaries here. Last over from Aaron, and it had to be him. 125, 6 balls has got. They lot the effort, not having any boundaries scored in this final over. They're at 125. Somewhere again, Safi Khan has got his task on hand that he has to deliver again to TMU. 140 is what they would be looking for. Uphill task against Aaron. Superb change of pace. In one of the tournaments in Durham, having a conversation with Aaron, he did tell that he's been working quite hard, developing that back of the hand, which is very natural from him. And then inside the tram line, at the very end time, ball shifting away from the batter. Change of the pace again. Smart bowling, poor effort. That is horrible from the short third man. Shouldn't have been a run there, in fact. But has got a boundary. He did go flying. The slower ball could not read it thoroughly. Safi Khan ends up throwing his bat with the outside edge. Picked up. Oh, you beauty. That's gone. That's gone to a distance. As soon as it left the bat, he knew it and the dugout knew it. They were on their feet cheering for that shot. This is reviving the innings completely from TMU, where it was looking to be an outstanding over. That misfield, that boundary towards short third man has changed the complete outlook. Poorly done. 2 balls dot, and then after that 4 and a 6, after that a single. 136. Final ball. Or 43. Isaiah Fernandez heaved away, and that's gone. That's gone. TMU finishes very strong. That's like a slumberjack. That brings up 52. Can you believe that? With a 6 in style, Isaiah Thomas stands tall and he says he's here for TMU. Wicket stumbling, having a rough day with the batting. Isaiah Fernandez does the job in the end. Gives that fountain of youth to TMU to get to that 142. They've done well. 50 runs of 44. TMU still in contention. 143 to be scored. There's that scorecard. Art Kuyasekar being magnificent. That inside out shot. Then falling for 13 runs. Isaiah Fernandez, that boundary, that last 6 run. 50 runs for him. Arav, Shazil Sulman. Arav has been instrumental building their partnership. Yaqub Ansari, Shazil Salman, guest for a couple of minutes on the pitch alongside Yash Patel, Safi Khan, and his cameo again coming in handy. Started off well, really well with the balance in the game. Prabha Prakash bowling some quick balls, surprising the batters. Got a maiden, got a wicket in that over as well. 6 runs and over. And it is here 143 needed of 120 balls. Innings number 2 already started. 9 runs so far with the ball remaining in the second over. Kunal getting a slip. What a ripper. Let's take a look if he can get the ball on the replay. Just turning right amount, beating the outside edge, and also the keeper missing a chance to stump. Sadhu Rahman, semi-final 1 against Ontario Tech, making sure his team walks across the line. Scored 70 runs, close to 70 runs. Yash Patel to roll his arm for the first over of this match. They've built the innings slowly. TMU came on tight, and that last over, that boundary opened up a chance there with the ball going up, swirling, and a catch taken. That's the first breakthrough, and the captain on the screen does the job. An excellent running catch towards the right. As you can see, that was hit in the air, the ball twirling across. He had to run on his right, keeping his head still, watching the ball. Could collect there to dismiss. Arjun was gone early. Brings on Fiat Buyan. Right on the mark, knows the call. We'll have to wait to open his account. Getting a little stretch there, umpire Brij Kumar. Has got a swagger on for the final game. Always well prepared. One of those umpires, Brij Kumar, was very experienced in GTA region. Has always come prepared with a stopwatch, extra ball. You can find everything that an umpire needs. Last ball of the third over. Yash Patel getting a wicket and just 2 runs off it. Bounce there off the wicket. Fiyad already wanting to play the big shot. Ends with a dot, 3 overs, 11 for 1. It's 4 runs off his first over, Kunal. Bowled slower on this occasion. Need 132 from 101 balls. This has been a terrific tournament. One to remember, with first day being washed out, the TD National Championship. Nicely negotiated. It was low on bounce. Sadur Rahman, he holds the key for UTSC. They need his power. They need his support today to lift the trophy. Going 3.14 and over, required 8 and over for UTSC. They need to come out strong. That's a deft touch. That's a nowhere shot. Fayad making it look so ugly with the shot. Till the very end, he was out of the crease for a quicker one. Look at that change of pace. More quicker, gets the turn away. Was expecting the ball to flight more, but flatter, quicker, outfoxed them. Just trying not to get stumped, having the fielder close to him. Gets caught. Direct hit and he was gone. Again clueless. Aaron right on the first ball. Troubled by Kunal. Almost cutting him into two halves. Was there, direct hit. Even dragging his bat would have not saved him. Thankfully, the fielder missed the mark. 4 overs, 12 runs, 2 wickets down. The UTSC gets the inside edge that saves Sadur Rahman. batting on 7 of 13. It's a good balance of spin, having Yash Patel. And as we speak, their spin has been their key strength, and they've not tried messing around with what's been working beautifully. Pick up. What an excellent shot this is. Just a pick up and goes the distance. Let's take a look. Going down on the leg. Sadur Rahman helping it on its way for 6 runs. This might be that shot where Saad feels the ball on his bat, he feels the rhythm, and wakes himself and the team up. We'll have to bowl that one again. The power play has been good for TMU, and then eventually after 10 overs, that was the dry phase. It's gonna run away with a wide, too close, trickling. Abhay and Aman Khwaja putting in the effort. Shot again. It should trickle away into the boundary. Oh, what a save there. What a spectacular save. Full commitment. 11 runs coming off, and just 3 balls bowled with 2 wides. Slowly, the run rate has started to pick up for UTSC. Despite not heavily scoring boundaries in the power play, UTSC and the batters there present on the crease would be thinking of just rotating the strike and then take the game deeper, just like how they had against Ontario Tech. Aaron Mill, Aaron Mali. How often have we seen fast bowler getting a deflection and the non-striker run out of his luck? But not this time for Aaron. He was in his crease, way back. We'll have to bowl that one again. This is a good over for UTSC with a couple of wides, a 6 run coming off. Still a ball remains for them. 8 balls already bowled with 1 to go. A lengthy over. Top edge. And we'll get a single. That should be end of 5th over. 26 for 2 after 5 overs. While the UTSC chasing 143 to win the game. We'll be back momentarily while the drinks are on the field. That's a splendid shot. Sadur Rahman bearing the flag of UTSC. Should be his second boundary, first to six, and then this one. Batting on 19 of 19. Last game he was expensive with 11 coming off his over that he bowled. As well, Isaiah Fernandez got a 50 in the first innings. Quite a celebration from him. Bit of discussion involved between Arav and the skipper of TMU to set the field up. This being the final over of power play. Require 7.79 an over. Consider that to be 8 an over. And what a ball that is. Right in the block hole. It did come back. Not sure if it did hit the batter. I think it was his grill. The ball rebounded. Three good balls. First one was a dot. Tried something different. Bowled too full in the slot for Saad. And then after the boundary, changing his length, rectifying the error. Was away from the keeper and the bowler too. Sadur Rahman and UTSC would have preyed upon for this to fall in no man's land, especially with someone who's been so attacking and aggressive. This wicket plays a huge role for the success of TMU and for the success of UTSC. For them to win, it's this man on your screen who has to played well with the pace, using the angle, gets 4 runs. Again, a dazzling shot from Sadur Rahman. And there comes the end of power play. 8 runs coming off that over. Almost 6 an over. With 6 overs done, 34 with 2 wickets lost. Inside edge. Here comes spin of Shazil Salman, who've got over of Kunal as well. Superb running between the wickets to take 3 runs. I assume has to be 2 or 3. We'll have a confirmation in a moment. Yes, it is 3. Walking into the tournament, UTSC would have thought, or the other teams such as Ontario Tech University, even today's game, they might have thought it's going to get easier. They're having a strong team. Whereas UTSC going against the narrative and proving misfield. That's a misfield and a much boundary. Comes on 7. You wouldn't want to look at the skipper with that sort of effort. That is missed. He reaches, gets the ball almost, and then slips. Run rate slowly coming down for UTSC. It's play and a miss. 8 runs coming off that over. 7 overs done. 42 for the loss of 2 wickets. Out of the second over. 11 so far that he's given. Another wide. And the umpire suggests it's within the tram line. Hitting 143 UTSC to win. Plenty of options available for the captain of TMU with ball. Still, Abhay Singh to come into play to use the ball. He's got 3 overs, Kunal having overs. And that gives you a better bandwidth, having different bowlers where you can utilize them at different stages of the game. And in trying to settle before he can go for the big shots. Nicely played. Just had to angle it away with the pads, with the ball being bowled on the pads. Just take a look. Comes down in readiness and seeing the ball going down leg. Just placing his bat. Good work. Good presence of mind from Aaron. 8 runs again coming off. 93 required in 74. 50 comes up with that boundary for the UTSC cricket team. Swept. And has he swept that well? Yes, he has. Applause. And what a shot that is. Improvisation. Instead of playing sweep, Goes for more like a paddle sweep, but not behind the wicket keeper. A bit more towards the fine leg. Just take a look. Middle. They're going again with the angle towards the off stump. Cricket at its very best from Aaron. 12 runs off that over. Good over for UTSC. Still needing 7.42 runs and over. They need one more big over to get back right in the game. Again, trying for that sweep where he nailed it in the last over. Quicker one. Way too wide for the batter to play. Sal has played different innings. Has built different innings at different stages. Last one against Ontario Tech, a bit more quicker, a bit more faster. This one with the need. He's playing with maturity. Has he connected that? And it looks like a wicket. Well said, Sadur Rahman. Gets the wicket. Gets the big breakthrough. There were signs of frustration, tension building up. Had to go for the shot. And ends up finding the man who played cameo, Safi Khan. Abhay into the attack. Didn't get a wicket last time when he bowled in the last game. Must be looking to have a wicket on his name in the finals. Uses a lot of pace variation, Abhay Singh. Likes to keep it tight between the stumps. An overthrow. 7.85. An over needed. 59. This is the 10th over Abhay is operating on. Haven't seen Aaron coming down the wicket to the fast bowlers. What he usually does, cries of catches, opened the face of the bat deliberately there. Good work in the deep. Will be only just 2 runs. Has a bit of swag, Aaron. Uses bandana. Typically that black bandana used by the batters, formerly the universe boss Chris Gale. That was also used from one of the openers, renowned openers of Sri Lanka, Tilakratne Dilshan too, when he used to open the batting for Sri Lanka. That's very iconic. There's certain things in cricket that remain iconic, just like that long black bandana, what Chris Gale used to wear, and that black bat in 2016-17 Andre Russ had when playing for Sydney Thunders, black color Spartan. End of 10th over, 62 for 3. Will be drinks on the ground. We'll take a short pause. Safi Khan, a clutch player indeed, getting the job done for TMU. Gets the wicket of Aaron. Does look like 2018 where these two teams came head to head. TMU winning that game in the finals. Does look like it's going to repeat again today with 5 wickets down. UTSC is in grave danger. Two and two. What a ball. Safi Khan, he's having qualifiers to remember. Exposing his stumps, nothing but just brushing off his leg stump. And it does look like this man, Safi Khan, has a special mention today. First in semi-finals, then in finals, coming in the last over, belting off now with the ball in hand. What a day he's having. He's on a hat trick too. You never know, he might also pick a hat trick today, which has never happened so far. Almost we are at the closure of the game. 6 wickets down for UTSC. wide, and I suppose hat-trick still continues. No, we were correct. Hat-trick wouldn't have continued after that wide ball because you need to have 3 wickets and 3 legal deliveries. Wide being an illegal delivery would have expunged the chance of him being on hat-trick. Drilled away. They're still going 2 and over, 2 per ball. They still have the game in their hands. 74 for 6. With the ball remaining, 67 runs required. Or will be aborted. Just not no ball, but also 5 runs penalty. Take a look at that one. Was a vicious ball, right on the mark, hitting the helmet when needed the most. A no ball, 5 runs, and then also on this ball he'll have a free hit. Everything on one ball. That's a very good ball from Safi Khan to end the run of free hit. That'll be a dot ball. Still, you can say that it is achievable. But 82 runs scored, needing 8.71 an over, 9 per over. Final over. Should be looking to come back for the second one. This is a good opportunity where TMU is very much relaxed and thinking the game is over. The batters can try to target every ball, get 2 runs at least from here, put the pressure back onto the fielders. That's how they're going to creep in the game. Stuff from the batters. Every ball they need a run. They wouldn't want to make it count as a dot. There's the wicket. Then only it felt like it was going good for UTSC cricket team. Kunal strikes back, putting UTSC back in peril. overs from here that need to be bowled excluding this over. And how important has the knock been played by Safi Khan in the very end? That's going to run away. Racing away. Should give them some belief here. But looking how things are going for UTSC, still they are in choppy waters. The ship for UTSC hasn't sailed smoothly. And how are they going to smother the storm here? Cleaned up. That's going to be a goodbye. You miss, I hit. That's going to be the 8th wicket for UTSC that falls. Tried the sweep there. Nowhere. His head position, head falling when he tried playing that sweep shot. That's poor execution. 2 wickets for the reigning champions of 2024 TMU to lift that silverware again. It's been an exhilarating tournament for TMU. How they've overcome the obstacles. And how about the man, Safi Khan, who's played a marvelous knock. 2 times again and again. 1 time you may call it a fluke, but 2 times, the second time it shows your character. And then the 3rd time it becomes your habit. And one of the very much decorated teams in the tournament, TMU, showing why their skill set is so different, why are they so distinct than the other oppositions. "50 runs required in 32. If only UTSC hadn't lost their wickets, you would have said it is still achievable. There's something, and the dreaded finger goes up from umpire Brij Kumar. It's gonna be a very long walk, where the dreams shatter for UTSC, where the legs turn heavy. It's gonna be a guilt for the batter while he goes to dugout as a golden duck. 2-2, Shazil Salman. With the ball remaining in this over, a wicket away. We've had an opportunity of hat-trick once with Safi Khan's over. That's Shazil Salman. Would be a great finish to the tournament for the TD 2025 Men's National Championship. If it's the captain picking up a hat-trick, we've never had hat-trick, and still we're going to run dry. End of 15th over, 94 for 9. Amazing. With with 1 wicket remaining. They've played this game like a champion squad. I tell you from 2024, if I'm able to remember exactly how Angad Singh started the innings, came on, obliterated the opposition, played his shots all around the park, was exceptional. Tries of catches to the sweeper in the deep. And then, where TMU, there are certain teams in the league stage, they perform ordinarily. And then when they come to qualifiers, their game, their tactics, their strategy changes completely to a different ball game, straight onto the bat. And it has been the same with TMU too. They've played a good hand. Has been a little bumpy ride in 2024 and 2025. And 2024 for TMU, they were much more reliant upon their net run rate. Somehow got into the qualifiers, and they made the finals look like against Conestoga Condors. Picked up full toss. That was juicy full toss onto his pads, and obliged to it to get a boundary. Last wicket partnership. Hundred. That comes up with this boundary for UTSC. Close shave, direct hit. Is he gone? Is he gone? The umpire says, nah, he's made it home. You'd have seen TMU run across, celebrating, ecstatic, in euphoria. If the umpire would have signaled it as out, Abhay Singh bowling his second over. The key difference here was moderating the game in the middle phase once the power play was over. And I think TMU did that job exceptionally well, because how they built the innings, how the innings was constructed, that was something to take a note of for UTSC. That's sky high. Where is it? The glare right into the fielder's face. I believe that's Yaqub Khan. Teasers, getting teasers before they start celebrating. TMU. Last ball of the 16th over. 103 on board. What are the odds? UTSC spoiling the party, great gate crashing, winning it with the last wicket. Cricket's a funny game, they call. Over the head. Timely jump. You can see Abhay Singh smile for that one. Tried a slow one. It's suggested by the fielder from long off, Aman Khwaja. 16 overs done. 104 for 9. 1 wicket. That keeps TMU on the lines to celebrate their victory. Yes and a no, yes and a no, and that's a run out, I suppose. Quick on his feet, and you can see the faces of everyone smiling. It's been an easy task to get the early wickets, and now the last wicket tempting, keeping everyone on their toes. Abhay, it's been one of those seasons where you had to fight with the weather, you had to fight with the odds, with weather not supporting. 24, 25, and 26, where this national tournament was supposed to happen and wrap up on the 26th, but now pushed to the October. Even though the first day getting rained out, it didn't stop the spirits. The second day, despite raining, action moved to Niagara Centre, witnessing there the teams being zesty, enthusiastic, that commitment, the dedication. You can see those frowned faces with disappointment with the first day getting rained out, the format being changed to T10. It's been a complete roller coaster of emotions for the teams and players here. And where is it? Where is it? And says Isaiah Fernandez, the half centurion. That's the game. TMU ripping through the austere clouds. They triumph one more time. 2024 champions. They continue their reign. They have toppled the opposition UTSC with a big margin. 39 runs victory for TMU. What a performance this has been. What a tournament this has been. Mentioning about nothing stopping, nothing coming as a hurdle for this spectacular tournament, for these spectacular teams who've given everything for this 2025 TD National Championship despite two heavy torrential rains. Action moved to Niagara Cricket Centre, and here you are in the qualifier stage having four teams, and here's your champion lifting that silverware. While they've been very proud as the dark horses, UTSC coming to the finals, expectations set upon them after winning GTA Cup 2025. The captain, Fayad Bhuyan, will have that tough pill to swallow, but they've fought hard against this reigning team. It's TMU who's won. There's the scorecard for you that tells the story. Sadur Rahman being watchful, cautious, but still could not get the better. Arjun Nagpal dismissed early on. And then Aaron was having a bit of fight there in the middle, but nothing. Safi Khan, who can have better with the golden man, who was in form today, who obliterated the opposition with the bat, with the ball in hand. Two back-to-back wickets, and again a long list of bowlers, but you'll have to give a special mention to Kunal. Every time this man is so frugal for the team, stops the runs, get the wickets. 3 runs economy per over. 4 overs bowled out of the lot has to be one of those outstanding efforts. It says the summary. This is where we wrap up, and we're going to say you goodbye for the next season to come on with CCUC and many more championships for the colleges and university. TMU crowned as a champion one more time, one more jewel on their crown.